All right, ramblers, let's get rambling. So, picking it up on day two, part two of our Grant Amato coverage, the man who was living a lonely life at home with his mom and dad and brother who did everything they could for him, got him help, the best there was, at Cornerstone in Fort Lauderdale. Well, la dee da. Cornerstone is a online sexual obsession, addiction, uh, rehabilitation program. And Grant was sent there at the cost of $15,000. He was supposed to stay in for 60 days, 60. He ended up staying in for about 2 weeks. I think it was around just before Christmas Eve until the 4th of January, before he essentially discharged himself by convincing the doctors that there was nothing wrong with him. Of course, there was something wrong with him. His head was the size of a hot air balloon, and what was inside his head was pretty frightening. Moderator Udi, first in line. That's the way it should be, folks. You need to check people's tickets, Udi. Make sure they're vetted to listen, because we don't want to just accept anybody. Anyway, guys, we are picking up. Where did we get to yesterday? We just about entered into Chapter 2, Phase 2 of Grant's interrogation, where some stuff started to come up about his sexual obsession, online obsession with Sylvie, the Bulgarian cam model that he sent $200,000 of his parents' retirement fund to in Bulgaria so she could send him sexy pics and flirt with him and make duck faces and say, "Oh, my poor baby." Mm. And do those little nostril giggles. He loved those nostril giggles. He loved them so much that he shot his mother in the back of the head while she was sat at her computer desk with a glass of wine at the end of the day, just getting ready to retire to that big house in Tennessee. And then he loved those nostril giggles so much that he shot his father twice in the kitchen, once in the back, or maybe back of the head. I can't remember where it was on his body, but as Chad Amato was crawling around on the kitchen floor, covered in blood, wondering what happened, preparing to die, his son, Grant, with the head the size of a hot air balloon, stood over his struggling to live body and shot him again, killing him. And he loved those nostril giggles so much that he waited until dear brother Cody got home after rushing back from his 35-hour shift at the hospital anesthesiology and the hospital, and waited for him to walk in the door and then blew his head off. So yeah. And what else did we learn about Grant? We learned about his type A Italian gorilla of a dad who would beat his fists on the kitchen counter, and his brother Cody slammed a cabinet in the wall. He painted quite a dramatic, abusive picture of his home life. Whether or not that will stack up with the evidence, we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, let's can the intro tonight, guys, and get rambling. Hey, got some of our resident regulars in the house backing up Udi here. We got Neverly Darling all the way from San Diego. Nancy Lee from Australia? Well, friends. Cincinnati. Okay, she's a Buckeye. Yeah, he'd talk to me. It was mainly a money thing with him, you know. Every day he'd come home from work and say, "You stole my retirement, $200,000, and now I'm never going to get to retire. And the hogs are going to destroy the lawn in the Tennessee house, and it's all your fault." Yeah, the same exact thing over and over and over and over and over again. Don't you hate it when people say and over and over and over and over and over again? It's like, we get it. You don't need to embellish, okay? He would say the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Imagine if he just never stopped. It would just be like he said the same thing over and 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 over. That's hard to do. God, how far could you take that? Yeah, Grant, I think they call that passive aggressive, don't you? To some extent, to $200,000 extent. Yeah, to some extent. What I did was wrong, and, I should be punished to some extent. What? There's no audio? Are you kidding? Oh, man. I am asleep at the wheel. I am just asleep at the wheel. Okay, sorry, guys. We've really got to get two monitors. Hey, support the channel. Buy me a coffee. Buy me a monitor. Fucking gotta present this shit, man. Oh my god. We've missed some great bits already. Thanks, moderator, Udi. I didn't press present. Totally my fault. Can't blame the connection tonight.
Not as valuable, maybe.
Right.
Maybe that's not the word, but you're not contributing enough to what needs to be done.
Right. And then, we had that difficulty where it's like, okay, we got a C or we got a D on something, and I just don't want to tell Dad about it.
Sure.
But then he would find out, and then,
Dad ever abuse you?
when we were younger,
How so?
spankings with like a 2x4, and then, he'd he'd use like.
Okay, we did this bit last night, guys. Now I've really messed it up. Oh, I don't deserve a YouTube channel.
Out there
Why don't I
tokens or
just
something like that? So, and then it was 4 hours a night. So I mean that's basically just where all like the costs went to, was you pay real money for the tokens, then you use the company's digital currency for.
Okay.
Yeah. You pay real money for the tokens, and then you use the company's digital currency. Okay, well, listen, dope. The headline here is stole $200,000 off parents' retirement fund. Okay, we don't care about, using the digital currency. Fucking guy.
Right. So you do that, and when did you meet her?
I met her at the.
Yeah, guys. Everybody join the Discord. Udi is flying the flag for Discord. I still don't really know what it is. I put a picture of my dog up yesterday. Our resident sound controlist, a Labrador called Soap, who is the same color as a chocolate cake and 3 times as yummy.
Beginning of July. Yeah, at the very beginning of July.
Okay, and still talking to her?
Still, yeah. I mean, more just on like Twitter,
Okay.
like just through direct messaging. Again, cell phone service doesn't work, so it's like I can't use the chatting like that.
How much do you think you spent?
Yeah, cell phone service doesn't work when your dad cuts it off at 29 years old and you don't have a phone. Cell phone service doesn't work. Yeah, because I was sanctioned.
On this, because it seems kind of pricey.
Yeah.
90 tokens.
It does seem pricey, doesn't it? $200,000. It does seem just a little pricey, for sending a few tit pics and lingerie and dildo fun. I mean, it does seem just a bit pricey.
And $5,000 for how many tokens?
No, it's $600 for 5,000.
For 5,000. Yeah. Okay. So how much do you think you spent on this?
Probably close to like $200,000, I'd say.
$200,000?
Yeah.
And where'd the money come from?
Money came from me, my brother, and then my dad.
Nancy, I don't know what Discord is. It seems to be like a really fancy chat room. But apparently, a phone conversation happened last night between viewers in my absence about the show. I just haven't had time to really get my head around it. I don't know what it is, but it exists, and there's a little community building and bubbling and forming there. So yeah, I've never used it before, but I'm trying to use it more because people are asking for it. So
Did they know where the money was going to?
They didn't know that it was going to a cam.
Yeah, voices. There's the ability to have conference calls apparently. So viewers were talking to each other about my show, making plans in my absence for my show.
A cam model. I was saying that it was going towards my Twitch streaming, like advertising, like putting my name out there and that type of thing.
But based on what you're telling me, only so many people make so much money. I think just a few make a bunch of money.
Right.
So what that was like the ultimate goal is to get to that.
I was hoping that the stars would align, and then I would be like one of those people, because I was good at the games, and I'm a funny, pleasant person on the camera and that type of thing.
Yeah. Isn't he just a funny, pleasant person on the camera? I bet when Sylvie in Bulgaria was watching him on the camera, she was thinking to herself, oh, this guy is so fun and pleasant. So fun, so pleasant, so bald, so ridiculously weedy. I mean, he looks like he's had all of the strength just sucked out of him, like by an evil force or something. Like in a cartoon where they just take your soul and there's nothing left but skin and this tiny skeleton.
So Yeah, I mean, so I guess to like bring it all back with why I was brought to Cornerstone, it was a mix of all of those things. It's like he felt like, you know, he felt like
You need to be grounded.
yeah, yeah. And so then I was there, you know, I spoke to like the therapist and psychiatrist and all that stuff. I didn't need any medications for anything. They had analyzed it as, this is an isolated event. You've been out of work, you have this PTSD from the whole getting arrested thing. And I mean, the last thing on my record was, I think, a speeding ticket back when I was at UCF.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, just having all of that stuff going on. But then they had signed me up, I think, to be there for 60 days. But then I was only there until January 4th. So
Who paid for that?
my brother, Cody.
What was the cost of that, you know?
$15,000. It was $15,000. And then I think when I had gotten back, we were going through the process of calling them and seeing if we could get any type of refund. And I think they said that he was going to get refunded $3,000 from his 15.
Sure.
But I don't.
There so long.
Right. But I don't know if that transaction had ever gone through yet.
So their final diagnosis of you was what?
That I was fine. That
didn't need to be there.
Yeah. That I was fine. I told them all about like my living situation and how it had been stressful, and then it got better, and then now it's just stressful again. But they had all just said that it was just this isolated event.
Situational PTSD from
Right. Yeah. Like
the last 6 months.
once you can get this legal thing taken care of, which I don't know if I mentioned, but when we looked online and we saw that all the charges had been dropped, that was on like November 30th or 31st, the day before we were going to Japan. So, well, that was good and everything. I still knew that it was still going to be like on your record until you get it expunged.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I was still thinking, okay, at least now I can maybe start applying when we get back from Japan. Sure. But you know, yeah, so I mean,
after you get back.
Thanks so much, Carrie Ann T. You're too kind.
On the 15th of December.
You get back. I thought you said you went on the 22nd of
right.
December.
Yeah, that's when I went to, yeah, it was after Japan.
Okay.
And it was because when I had gotten back, my mom and dad were, you know, dealing with a lot of the financial stuff while we were up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got back,
they spent a lot of time dealing with the financial stuff while we were up there. They were like, well, we thought we had enough money to retire, but now we have nothing, and the hogs are tearing apart the lawn, so we can't even afford to deal with that anymore. So we're not going to have a lawn, any money, and we're going to work until we die. So they spent a bit of time dealing with the financial side of it, yeah.
Before my dad started to get really kind of overbearing, and I mean, rightfully so. I know what I did, but it's like with him, it was every single day, hours a day. Hours a day. He'd come home from work, and then he would just talk to me just about the same exact thing over and over and over.
Yeah, the same exact
again.
thing. He'd come home from work after another day, you know, every day after his scheduled retirement was just like another day where he was reminded that he can't retire. And he would come home from work and talk about the same exact thing every day, the money, you know. It was just like, he's so type A. He's a type A Italian gorilla. He'd get home, talk about the money, beat the kitchen counter with his fists, and
Did he get heated?
He would get heated, but
How about you? Did you get heated?
No, I mean, I was, you know, I was always the person in the family where like my brother Cody would interrupt my dad when he was talking. My mom would interject and say, you can't be saying that or whatever. But for me, I would just sit there and I would just let my dad talk so that he could say everything that he wanted to say. And then if I saw that it was something that he wanted me to respond to, then I'd respond. But I would never be heated to him.
Sure.
Especially if I felt like I was in the wrong.
Right. Do all this you think you were in the wrong?
I mean, yeah.
To some extent?
To some extent, you know, spending that amount of money, it's idiotic to do that, you know, especially when you're not making
So $200,000.
Right.
When was the last time that you and your dad did have, you know, a heated conversation?
It would be Thursday, because one of his rules was that I wasn't allowed to talk to the woman anymore that I had been talking to. But I guess you could say behind the scenes, my mom would let me talk to her through her cell phone using Twitter.
Now, behind the scenes, his mom would let him talk to Sylvie using her cell phone on Twitter. Okay. So was he just stealing her cell phone and contacting Sylvie on Twitter saying, hey, I can't pay you any money to talk to me anymore, but we could talk on Twitter. And she's like, well, we could, yeah, we could. Yeah, and that's a maybe. That's a maybe, definitely. But what about if we went back on the thing where you do the tokens, then we could have a really good time and I could send some pics. I got a really good pic. I got new lingerie today. You want to see? Yeah, come and do the token thing and I'll show you.
And, she would tell me, like, look, you have to keep it just basic, because if you say anything or if you entice anything or do anything like that, it might lead her to say something to, like, my dad or something like that.
How
Because
would she get in touch with him?
because apparently when I was in Cornerstone, my dad told her, because he had, like, hacked my computer or something like that, and then he found
Is he an
everything.
electronics guy like you and your brother?
Except he's more of that, like, hacking level, like, able to do all that stuff. So he had found,
That's another tell guy. A little bit of a variation on the usual tell. The usual tell is when people start saying and stuff like that. Another big one is whatnot. If anybody ever says to you whatnot in a sentence, look at what they're saying and find why they're saying whatnot. Because and stuff like that. We see it in interrogations all the time. Ezra McCandless, Lee Radati. What did he just say? He hacked my computer or something like that. There's no something like that. Grant, tell us what you know. What did he do?
Like, just the stuff that was related to her. And then, he erased my whole entire computer. He put a password.
And this is a big thing for his resentment to his father. If his father contacted Sylvie and burst the bubble that Grant had created for himself of, he was selling himself to Sylvie as, yeah, I'm this big time stream gamer on Twitch, and I make $300,000 a month. So of course I can pay you for your G-string thong photography. Yeah, because money's no object, hon.
On it. So it's like, even when I came back up until Thursday, like, I wasn't able to go onto my own computer to look at anything.
He's treating you like a small child.
Right. And rightfully so. I mean, spending that amount of money, I was acting childish. I can kind of get it. But
I can kind of get it, yeah. I can kind of get why my dad was upset and, put all of these sanctions on me. I can kind of get it because, I did spend all of his money that, he'd worked for 35 years to save. And I, in a way, I kind of got it.
So yeah, anyways, on Thursday, he had apparently found out that I was speaking to her again.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came back on the 4th, my mom picked me up from the Cornerstone place. And then me and my mom met my dad at California Pizza Grill or Kitchen in Waterford Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this list front and back on a piece of paper of all the rules. This is what's going to happen. This is why I'm acting the way that I'm going to act. I'm not going to be dad anymore. I'm going to be Chad. And I basically told him that I'm going to be present. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to start trying to get jobs now. I told him what my plan was.
I'm going to be present. I wouldn't want this guy to be present anywhere near me, and I hate it when people say that. It's just such a, oh, look, I'm going to respond to this situation in a mature way. I mean, it's this Charlie Adelson does a similar thing where it's like what you say at school to make the teacher back off a little bit. I'm going to be present. I'm going to be attentive. I'm going to put in 100% effort, and I'm going to listen. And you won't have to worry about trouble from me anymore, because I've just decided I'm going to change immediately. And the teacher has to back off, right? I don't know how people get to be 29 years old and still think this shit works. You know, in general life, never mind a friggin' murder investigation, a triple homicide investigation.
No, it wasn't really my intention.
I'm gonna be present. I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna be attentive and thoughtful. Okay. Well, you're also gonna do life in prison or get the death penalty. So good luck with that.
To continue talking to this woman, but it just kind of happened. And then because there was like that emotional connection, I guess you could say, between her and me, like
yeah, there was definitely that emotional connection and that bank account connection. You know, there was definitely that bank account connection. You know what I'm saying? Big money, baby. 200 G's, baby.
I like, you know, it felt like a relationship. You know, I didn't want to just stop cold turkey on it. So
okay, he's just done two revealing things there. It felt like a relationship. So he knows that it wasn't one, right? Otherwise, he'd say it was a relationship. No, he didn't say that. He said it felt like a relationship. And then the next thing he said was, I didn't want to just stop cold turkey on it. That's comparing it to heroin withdrawal. You know, so he's expressed in those two very kind of flippantly thrown out there short sentences that he knows that it's a fantasy and that he's addicted. He might as well just say, I am addicted to a fantasy that isn't real.
He had apparently found
I'd actually give him more points if he just said that.
out, and then
Unhappy.
Right, and one of the stipulations was that he told me at the dinner was,
But instead of saying that and letting it sink in for himself, he's actually using that argument to support his position. It felt like a relationship. I didn't want to just stop cold turkey on it, so I had to text on Twitter. You know, what isn't this guy, you know, the lack of self-awareness with this guy is, it's, I think Chandler Halderson was more self-aware. You know, he knew what he was doing and he was actively being deceptive. This guy is just, you know, even more dangerous because he's justifying his actions.
if you speak to this woman again, you're out of the house. I'm kicking you out. You can pack up your shit, and then you're off my property. And then because of the way that he used to be, he had told me that basically if that happens, that if I ever step...
Hey, everybody, I think Stevie Love is heading for a new career. What do you think? She's going to be researching this tonight, guys.
Back onto his property, that he would kill me. So, you know, on Thursday, that all happened, and then I was in the process. I was getting all my stuff together. I was piecemealing it out to the car, and then, you know, I had an interview on Friday, so I had to get my suit out to my car. I was trying to just get all of my necessities as best as I could from, you know, a lifetime of living inside the house. And then, my brother was working that night, and I think he was working like one of his long nights, but he ended up getting off early. And then I had met with my brother before he came home, just like in the neighborhood area. And then it was just on the like the back side of the house, like along, I don't remember what that road's called, but it's like you take the bend where it has...
Stevie Love, asks, what's the hog business? There are pigs involved? No, thankfully, there are no pigs or any online pigs selling pig pics to Grant. No, the hogs are, the parents had a retirement home that they built in Tennessee, remote location, and wow, you're all still here. My cell phone just turned off because it wasn't charged, but we had to turn it back on, and now we're connected to the internet again. Just list the fuck ups. Hey, you know what you could all do? You could go and list the fuck ups on buymeacoffee.com. What is buymeacoffee.com? Well, let's say your grandmother is cooking meth in the basement, and you need to get a court order. Yeah, Bruce Rivers. He's the criminal lawyer. Where's the friggin'? Oh, here it is.
Not for Christmas.
Is it before Christmas when you still turn the corner?
I think so. I'm not
Maybe.
sure. I think so.
Well, it was just down that road.
Okay.
And then I basically brought him up to speed, and he had told me that he was going to do whatever.
What time was that, you think?
God, what time was that?
What time did you go to, let me back up a second, I apologize. You, Mom, and Dad go to California Pizza Kitchen in Waterford at what time?
Oh, that was all the way back on January 4th.
Oh, you said Thursday.
Oh, that wasn't Thursday.
No.
Okay.
That was when I had come back from Cornerstone,
Gotcha.
and he was giving me the rules.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So,
then do Thursday then. We'll
what
check
happened?
with that.
That Thursday that you meet with Cody down the street, is this past Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me about that.
After you and your dad argue.
After me and my dad had argued, and he had told me, this is how it's going to be, and all that stuff.
Okay. This is at the house this past Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because this is what now, Saturday?
Saturday.
So
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Past Thursday, I guess you could say. So then I spoke with Cody. He told me about all that. He had given me his debit so that because I don't have any money and I don't know where to go. I'd never been out of the house on my own. And then the last thing that I was told was just that, basically once again, that he'll take care of it because
This is Cody.
this is Cody.
What time is this, approximately?
I'd say a little after 10:30ish at night.
Thursday night.
Thursday night.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so then after that, I just stayed in the vicinity area for a number of hours. And then I had remembered over some of the nights when I would work overnight, but then I'd be able to get off early, that the Publix on 50 on Colonial, the one that's by the Tractor Supply.
419, yeah.
Yeah. That Publix, it's like their guest Wi-Fi is always still active even when the store closes down. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go there because I have my Surface.
So just to clarify what he's talking about, guys, he's talking about the night that he left the home, which is the night that he murdered his whole family, his whole direct family. He's got one other older brother who had a different dad, but he was raised by the same dad. So he's the only surviving member of his immediate family. And on that day, what he's talking about now is he's driving around Orlando, desperately looking for somewhere he can park and piggyback onto their Wi-Fi. So he's like, yes, I remember that there's a Publix that always has their Wi-Fi on. It's like 4 a.m. He's driving around trying to get connected to the internet so he can message Sylvie. And, when he killed his dad and brother, he took their credit cards and immediately drove to a Wi-Fi location, put $600 on the friggin' cam site for the tokens, and messaged Sylvie. And sat there for hours talking to her, spending like $3,000. What a guy.
And I can, check on my emails. I had to pull up the address to my interview because I don't have GPS. So then I would write all that stuff down. And then I was basically just waiting in that parking lot until I had to leave to go to the interview. And then, that was the last, because again, it's no cell phone service. Email was literally my only form of communication. And then, I didn't have any, I went to the DoubleTree because I was like, I can't just stay in my car again all night.
Right.
Hey, Alice. Are you from Alice Springs?
How did you pay for that?
I paid for it with my debit card.
With your debit card?
Yeah. Because I think there was $400 or $300 and something still left on it.
Okay.
What time did you get there?
The DoubleTree? I think I got there at around 3 or 4 p.m. Friday. And then, then I was just, I would go up to my car so I get a bottle of water or something like that, or if I had forgotten something, just necessity wise. And then I was just there the whole night.
Talk to Cody, talk to Mom, talk to
No, I couldn't talk to anybody because I didn't have.
But you had the phone in the room.
Oh yeah, I did have the phone in the room. But
yeah, anybody from the phone room?
No, I didn't even honestly think about it because I was away from a place where I lived for 25 years or something like that. I had never, as embarrassing as it is, I'd never been on my own.
Right.
The longest period I'd ever been away from anybody is 2 weeks when we were up in Japan. So,
But you had your brother with you, so.
Right, yeah.
So you had family with you.
But
yeah. The longest time I've been without my family was when I was in Japan with a family member. Oh, God. I guess some people are close with their family, but you never wanted to leave. You just stayed at home.
Yeah, so I guess I was waiting to see what would happen with this job because I was told I'd either be told Tuesday or Thursday, and then maybe
Nothing's happening with the job. They came in, you came in, they took one look at your head, and they said, next.
I would try and outreach or something like that. Or the last time,
Cinderella.
you know, when it was like an
Later.
issue where I didn't have my phone, like my brother would email me. So I was just thinking, oh, okay, well, I mean, if anything,
And
he knows the
love
situation, he'll just email me. So I checked my email a few times last night, and then I just inevitably was able to go to sleep.
Was it Thursday night that your dad told you that if you talked to the girl that he would kick you out, or was that the conversation on the 4th at California?
That was on the 4th. And
That's on
then
the
he
4th,
just
okay.
went through with it on Thursday.
Okay.
So Thursday, you're home all day
Yes,
with your mom. Like, she works at home.
correct, yeah.
Your dad's at work. What's his normal work hours?
He works until, I think he had to go in early that day, because he had to start like doing overtime or something like that. And he normally works though from like 5 or 6 in the morning to, I think he gets home between like 5:30 and 6 at night or something like that.
What time do you get home that day?
He got home at like 5:30.
5:30.
5:30, 5:45, one of those two.
Okay. Were you there when he came in?
Yes.
Okay. Well, describe your dad normal come in.
When my dad normally comes in, he'll come in, he'll look into the living room, which is like there's the kitchen and then there's the living room where it's got like the long couch and whatnot that's inside. And then there's the TV right there.
Okay.
So he'll normally come in through there and then he'll talk or he'll ask his questions or he'll.
Where were you at when he came in?
I was just in there. I was just watching.
In the virtual reality where you said you had that set up?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just watching.
And that's in what room?
The living room.
The living room.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just watching YouTube at that time, just like.
Did Dad talk to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where, because he had, I don't know how he found out, but he had apparently found out, and then
Found out what?
that I was talking to.
You were still talking
to the woman, yeah. And then he came in, and then he asked me, in a calmer state, I guess you could say, like basically the leading question of, you know, why do you think we're about to have this conversation? Giving me, I guess, that opportunity to be honest and truthful, to maybe tone it down a little bit. I, of course, did what I always did, where I kind of didn't admit to it. And then he came out and he told me that I'd been doing that.
He had proof.
Yeah.
Have an argument?
Yeah. And then, you know, he got just, he had kind of reverted back to the way that he was when we were younger, where, you know, he kind of, you know, pulled me up from the couch and then he was yelling at me to pack my shit up and just get out of the house. That he was the one who had to be the hammer and that, you know, why am I making him have to go through this and all this other kind of stuff.
Okay.
So, you know, basically I had.
So he's becoming violent.
I mean,
like the way you described
right,
it when you were
right.
when you would go, you were kids.
Right.
What do you do?
Like I said, he pulled me up from the couch just by like the shirt that I was wearing. And then, you know, after that, he was basically just having that yelling where it was kind of like cracking, you know, like his voice would either crack or he was basically just yelling at that point and monitoring.
Where's your mom?
My mom was in her office.
Okay.
Because.
And I'm sorry to cut you off. Does mom have like an office hours? Like she would get up and do her work all day, and at a certain time I'm done doing my office work and I'm doing my family stuff.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean,
she worked there all the time.
Right. She would. I think the major thing that she would do is she would like cook dinner.
Okay.
And then after that, she would go back into her office.
What time was dinner usually? Generally.
Between like 7, like I guess usually around 7:30 is when we'd usually have dinner. Most nights.
Did you guys already have dinner that night?
No. I think, what was she gonna make? I think she was gonna make something with like chicken or something like that, stir fry or something like that, because Cody was working late, so she didn't want to make something because my dad would always buy me.
The chicken's really interesting in the trial, guys. His mom was going to make chicken for dinner. And I can't really remember the details of this, so I don't know why I'm telling you. But we might go and watch a bit of the trial, at least opening, closing arguments or something, because, she took the chicken out of the freezer, like a whole chicken. And they could tell, what was it? It was like it had defrosted a certain amount or something, so they knew she would have been alive at a certain time because that's how long it takes a chicken to defrost in that ambient temperature. It was like a big thing in the evidence, you know, for nailing down the time. The frozen chicken, the defrosted chicken.
Meals that were for 4. So we didn't want to pull out anything where there would be leftovers or something like that. So, but she hadn't started making it yet. I think she was defrosting the chicken.
Welcome, Marianne.
And that was about what time?
What time? I think she took those out like at 4 or something like that in the afternoon.
And at this time, the argument with Dad is at what time?
The argument with Dad is like 6.
Neaty, I don't think this guy has a mental illness. I think he's just a fucking baby. Just a disgusting baby in hospital scrubs. I mean, did you see the thumbnail for this video? I mean, can you imagine that guy leaning over you in a hospital bed, you know, when you're vulnerable and need care, and it's him that's responsible for your well-being? That would be a bad day at the hospital for me. That'll be the worst day at the hospital.
30 or so.
30.
Yeah.
Okay. You have your argument and you pack your stuff?
I had my argument, and then I'm packing my stuff. I'm, taking it out to the car. It took me like a couple hours to get as much as I could, just kind of out into there.
Yeah, don't you just love the Bruce Rivers theme tune? You know, Bruce Rivers just broke down your case. He know all the charges that you gotta face. You ain't coming home till 2058. That self-snitching gonna get you put away.
And then, yeah, it's like Mom's kind of just staying out of it to a certain degree because she knows like how Dad can be. And then, yeah, I mean, and that's just pretty much where I was just kind of like waiting.
So you wait outside. Did anybody call Cody and tell him what's going on?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. And how did you know to meet Cody down the street?
It's because my mom had actually come and told me that, she was trying to bridge the gap. And then before I actually physically left, I had told my mom that, I'm going to be close. I'm going to be local. I'm just going to be like down the street. And then.
So you left.
So I left. And then.
What time do you think you left about?
Oh, God.
What time did you leave?
At 6:30, the argument started.
Gotta be careful there, haven't you, Grant? You don't want to lock yourself into a story, so later at trial, any contradiction will sink you.
Before you left?
I'd say like 9 or 9:30 or so.
Yeah, the big hand was definitely on the 5 or 10. And the little hand might have been on the 2 or 8.
And then, yeah. So then, I mean, yeah, that's because I guess.
How did Mom?
I think it's because.
Cody, then?
I think it's because, like Cody had called the house, and then my mom picked up, and then he was just letting like how we would normally do, where like I got off early. He was supposed to work till like 11 or something like that.
But he came home early.
And then yeah, he was able
to come home early because of the fight. You think?
I don't know honestly, but he had. I mean, like that week, even on the days that he was working until 3, he would come home at like noon or 1 or something that week. So maybe it was just a slow week, but apparently that had happened, and then my mom was able to
tell him what was going on.
Right, and then she told me.
Did Cody have the gun affinity you have? He did. He liked guns like you did.
Right, yeah.
Did he keep any guns on him?
I think Cody had his carry, his pistol.
Okay.
And then
What did he normally carry?
It was like a Smith & Wesson M9 shield or armor or core something.
Okay.
And then the only other gun that he had was his clay shooting shotgun.
Okay. Did your dad carry any guns?
My dad, to my knowledge, he has like 2 SKSs or something like that, and then he has a Glock something.
Do you carry the Glock with you normally?
Normally, no.
No. Okay. What else happened?
What else happened? Then after I met with Cody, then that's where, you know, I was again just kind of staying around that area, and then I just went to the Publix, and then to my knowledge, I mean, that was the last interaction that I had with the 3 members of my family was that.
Was about what time? Last time you saw your mom was what time, approximately?
Last time I saw my mom, I'm just trying to think. Last time that I saw my mom was, God, when did I say that I met Cody? Or when Cody
exact time
stopped by? It was like 45 minutes before that.
Okay, so
when Cody called the house, you said your mom told him about the argument.
Right.
When you left, you said you told your mom you were going to be in the area.
Right.
How then does Cody now know where to meet you, or if he's going to meet you?
Yeah, it's because that's when my mom had come out to where I said that I was going to be on that road somewhere. Okay. And then she was able to do that. And then I guess that's how she knew like where to, I don't know if she talked to Cody again or if she was able to do that, but then she was able to like pinpoint that area.
Okay, so this would have been late at night?
Right.
8, 9, 10 o'clock, somewhere like that time?
Yeah.
So dinner was over. You guys already had dinner?
We hadn't had dinner because of the whole argument that was happening.
Okay.
So yeah, the chicken never got past just being in the wrappers over where she would always defrost it.
So you leave, go on your way, Cody goes home.
Right.
And you had no contact with anybody since then.
Right.
I just want to make sure that we're not missing anything before we can close it out. Just a second, Grant. You want to take this? This is a good time right now to take it.
I'm good.
Bathroom break, anything?
No, I feel fine.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just water.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
I don't think this guy uses the bathroom anymore. You know, his his penis is probably about 3 weeks from just falling off completely. Oh, did you see that neck crack? What is he gonna do? Use his head to bust through the interrogation room wall? Man, he could tear down the city with that thing. You know those wrecking balls that they have to knock down buildings? I want someone to paint one with Grant's face. And then knock down a building, a courthouse. Look at him going over his story in his mind, saying, "Is that viable?" Trying to anticipate the next turn in the line of questioning. Good luck, bud. What's he doing? Trying to clean the gunshot residue out of his fingernails. God, I would hate to use the shower after this guy. Oh, God, that would be horrible. He comes out in a towel and you know it's your turn. No, I wouldn't do it. I'd say, yeah, I had an extra long shower yesterday. What's he doing, Cora Jane? He's thinking like a pro. He's thinking, where are they gonna take me next? I mean, he can't be totally naive to the pattern of interrogation. I mean, he probably doesn't know the read technique like all of us, but he must know that difficult questions are coming, right? He must know that he's going to have to put a performance on. He knows that they've found the bodies, obviously. What's Ian on about with these pop references tonight, guys? Gargamel. What is that? Neverly Darling says, bet his fingers are long, skinny, cold, and sweaty. Sounds like you've been touched by a few creeps in your time, Neverly. Yeah, get the super stickers rolling in, guys. Carrie Ann T is on the right path. Super stickers, super chat, like, share, leave a comment. Leave a comment for Grant. West LA, huh, Ryan? Maybe we should skip this bit, guys. Who knows how long it is? Oh, here they come.
Sorry, man. I need the bathroom.
Oh,
And I wanted to print out a picture of Fort Christmas, because we're not aware, I'm not familiar with the area, so.
So we're gonna go back and talk again about this, because it's kind of important to me, about Cody and you meeting that night.
right.
So then that night, which was Thursday? Thursday night, you meet Cody, because, and did he ever tell you why he left work early?
No. I mean, I'd assumed that it was just because he had been allowed to leave early.
He's been allowed to leave early. Okay.
So here's,
I think this is the blinking lights there.
See,
So this is,
wouldn't be the
to
same
me,
without
this is
you.
419, left on Lake Mills, right? Left on Fort Christmas.
Okay.
Where would you say you met Cody on Fort Christmas?
So wait, is
Hello.
this that other like neighborhood?
I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think it comes this way is 419.
This is where
Or
all like,
county side?
So we've done the time ambiguity. Now we're going on to the geographical ambiguity. Where did you meet your brother on Fort Christmas? And he just can't commit. You know, he doesn't know if there's a doorbell camera. He doesn't know if there was a witness. He doesn't know if there was a cop, you know. So he's like, yeah, so that's the road. And we met, okay, so there's the guardrail. And there's a long, long fence. And then
No, I think this is up by the hitching post. You come up, you make a right on Fort Christmas.
this is where the
And here-
blinking
and
lights
here-
are.
Okay.
Yeah, this goes into Picket Downs, right? Is right here. Then this is the circle.
Is this where you live at? Where do you live at?
If this is like the entrance to Picket Downs, then yeah, I live like.
Okay,
Okay,
so here's,
so that's your
there's blinking lights right here, so people don't run up into his house. I think that's what there's 2 red lights.
Oh yeah, that's on the dude's fence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there's those 2 yellow arrow
Okay.
blinking ones at the corner.
The corner.
So these are blinking lights here. All right, so then where do you and Cody meet?
Like way down this road, like yeah, further past on that road.
So past, does this dead end anywhere?
I don't think so. I think it
Goes
literally
into Bethel, I think.
goes into Bithlow and then and then if you keep going it, which was the way that I inevitably took it, where it'll dump you out onto 50. And then I came
Okay.
up 50 to go back to the Publix.
All right, so here are the blinking lights. How far down do you think you met? Half mile, mile?
I mean, a significant ways. I mean,
Just an approximate.
yeah, half mile. Well,
I would say it was probably over a mile.
Significant way.
Is this somewhere you and him have met before?
We know, where that, if you're on this road, the intersection where it's like it intersects with another road and then it's got like a guardrail or something like that right there.
Mhm.
It was still past that area, but it was close to that intersection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it in the roadway, like off the roadway, or in,
Yeah, just off the road.
just off the road?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not familiar.
I can't even.
It's like it's
Well,
back
it's real
there.
easy,
in the
detective. You
country.
start on the road, you go off the road, you go down a ways, a significant distance, and you follow the guardrail. So obviously that's where we met.
Right.
So you and Cody meet,
Right.
and it's approximately what time? And I know it's not, I'm not holding to the exact
Yeah,
what time you think you met.
Like
This is like
10:30.
Wendy on the stand. You know, this is like, yeah, are you asking me to speculate?
or something like that.
How long did you talk to him for?
Only about 10 minutes or so.
And what was the conversation?
Conversation was basically that he was brought up to speed, and that he would take care of it.
He was brought up to speed by what?
He was brought up
He
to
would
speed
take
on.
care of it. This is his big line. This is like Chandler had one as well, didn't he? Or am I getting confused with this? Like that one line that he was trying to hit home. I'll need a set for pipe repair.
And like why I'm out here.
Who brought him up to speed?
My mom.
Oh, so she talked to him.
Yeah.
He told you that mom had talked to him.
Right. I just
Since the argument or when?
since I had left.
So you'd left the house approximately when?
I left the house at like, God, when did I leave the house?
Dark?
It was dark. It was after 9 p.m., but I just don't remember.
So between 9 and approximately 10:30,
Right.
you leave,
Right.
go down to, sit on, for Christmas. Cody comes and talks to you about 10 minutes. At some point, your mom has spoken to Cody based on what the conversation you have with him, correct?
Correct, yeah.
And she told him what had happened between you and your dad.
Right.
Okay?
Do you think that's why Cody left work?
I mean,
Did Cody say to you why he left work?
No, he never said why he left work, but in my mind, I was just thinking, oh, he had been let off work early like three times already this week. So I was just like
10, 15 minutes you talk to Cody.
Right.
What's he driving?
He drives a 97 Honda Accord.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a conversation and he leaves to go home.
Hey, we just got Cinderella just bought us a cup of coffee on buymeacoffee.com, guys. Thank you so much, Cinderella. That's your second cup that you've bought for us this week, isn't it? Fantastic. We really appreciate it. Anyone else want to contribute to the channel, guys? You can do it just like Cinderella did on buymeacoffee.com. Patreon, super chat, like, share, leave a comment, tell a friend.
Right.
And you leave to go where?
And then I stay in that general area just so that if anything happens, somebody like knows where I am.
Okay, how long do you stay there?
I stayed there for.
Yeah, Norma, this camera view
like,
is called Scalp Cam. Scalp Cam. Can you imagine what the Navajo, Tomahawks, indigenous, tribes would have done with this guy? They'd need to invent a special big knife to scalp him. They wouldn't need to scalp anyone else. You could make a tent out of this guy's scalp.
A couple hours, I would say.
Just sit outside of it?
You could skin a whole teepee with just his friggin' forehead skin.
Where you were talking
Like,
about?
I would go, like, kind of just up and down that road a little bit, just at my cars and just, like, sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most, yeah, I mean, I was staying in that general area, and then I decided to go
to Publix?
Publix.
Which was about what time?
Like, between, like, midnight and 1, I think. Yeah.
And you go to Publix midnight 1, and how long did you stay there till?
I stayed there until, like, 7, I think, in the morning. Well, as best as I could, yeah.
Right.
I mean, I
never
was
comfortable sleeping in the car.
Yeah,
Where
but
you park at, you know?
it's like on the side of it where like there's the back end of Publix where like all the shipments and stuff come in, and then you go around that corner, and then there's that line
On the Publix end of it, or the Tractor Farm Supply end of it?
Publix end.
So there's some parking there around that side.
Yeah.
I'm familiar because I used to live in
Yeah.
that area. There's a side parking.
Right.
If you come up forward, you make the left, you go in front of Publix. The ice cream place is out in front.
Right.
But you're on the side of the building.
Right.
Did any deputies or anybody ever come by, or
No.
anybody that worked there?
Nobody.
Any delivery trucks?
I saw delivery trucks like in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah.
And 7:00-ish.
Between 7 and 7:30, yeah, I leave.
And go where?
And then I just drive over to where my interview.
And I'm sorry, I'm just not understanding. Where was that at?
Off Lee Vista.
Off Lee Vista. So how do you get there?
So if you've got a job interview for a medical position, maybe you shouldn't stay up in sitting in the driver's seat of a car talking online to a Bulgarian cam model until 7:30 in the morning, right before you need to go to your job interview. Just saying.
I just drove there.
Which way?
The direction
What roads did you use?
Colonial to 408, and then I got off on Goldenrod, the Goldenrod exit, and then I took Goldenrod all the way down to the Lee Vista road.
Make a right?
Right.
Going back towards 436?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have an E-Pass?
I do.
You do. Okay. So your E-Pass would have probably hit you at the Dean Road, maybe?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's a toll, if I'm not mistaken, at Goldenrod, is there?
No, there's
I don't
not.
think there is one.
Yeah.
So you
it's
work
just
your
the
way
one.
on surface roads all the way down Lee Vista and go. And what was the name of the company again? I'm sorry, I don't think we found it.
It's Accreta.
Accreta?
Yeah.
How do you think it's spelled?
ACCREDA.
Let me see if I can find
Or
it.
it's Accredo. It's one of those two. But if you type in that and then like scripts, it'll.
Neverly Darling says, no kidding. Which department did he work in? ER, med surge? Did he say? Well, he's an anesthetist. Anesthetist? Whatever the friggin' word is. Anesthetist. Anesthetist. You know, he administers anesthesia. So I guess that's in the OR. Have I got my medical jargon under control tonight, guys, or what? Check me out. Needy, super sticker, thanks so much. You are a sweetheart, and we love you.
It'll give you like the other name that the company has, because then they were also just like bought from Cigna, so they're also called Cigna now.
Scripts like?
Yeah, like a doctor script, SCR.
And someone tell me in the chat, what is the difference? What is the difference between a super chat and a super sticker? Is there a difference?
RIPTS. Express Scripts. That's the actual, I think, name of the infusion group, but they've kept their name Accreta or Accredo.
Accreto's,
Express Scripts.
let's see, I saw them.
Why are you looking that
The
up?
6272 Lee Vista Boulevard sound right?
Yes. Yeah, 62. Yeah, I remember it being 62.
Yeah, I'm sure looking just at my phone here real quick and see.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is not good. Look about right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Express Scripts, yeah.
So it's going to be 6272 Lee Vista Boulevard, and it's called Express Scripts there on their name. When I put it said Accredo Express Scripts. That's not right.
Let's open this for debate, guys. Neeti says, I wonder if Sylvia feels guilty. Well, why should she? She's providing a service, you know? There's terms and conditions. It's a legal contract, you know, it's a service, no different than if you were a massage therapist and, you know, a murderer was coming to you every week for a massage, a legit, you know, maybe that's a bad example. I'm not talking about a sexual massage. I'm just talking about okay, let's do ice cream. Someone is selling you ice cream every week and you have been stealing the money to pay for it. And then you kill your whole family. Would the person selling ice cream have to feel guilty? I don't think so. You know, I could see reasons that Andrew Smith, Chandler Halderson's friend that gave him the gun, might feel guilty. I think a lot of people would. I'm not saying he should. But I do think you ought to maybe get to know someone well before you give them a high-powered military-grade assault rifle for a gift. You know, just saying.
Okay. So you went and had an interview with who?
I had an interview with the two managers, Erica and Terry.
Erica and Terry. Females or males?
Females.
Okay. Two females. What did Erica look like?
Erica is, I think, like maybe 30 or something like that, and she's got like blonde hair, like fake eyelashes, white, you know, kind of just look like young, standard, small build woman.
Okay. How about the other girl?
Terry is, I think, kind of into her 40s. She's got like auburn straight hair, white again, and yeah, she was also just kind of like a standard slim build person.
Okay. What'd you wear to the interview?
I wore my suit. It's just like a Men's Warehouse gray suit.
Sure.
Like brown shoes.
Okay. And you said the interview was from what time to what time? And I'm sorry to repeat.
No.
I just don't remember off.
My interview was scheduled for 10 in the morning,
But you got there early.
right, because I was told that I had to print out like my resumes and my other things, but then I wasn't able to the night before. So I had brought my Surface thinking that I could print it out earlier. So I got there at 9, or like maybe 8:45.
Where'd you print out that?
I actually didn't. I mean, they said that they couldn't, but they already had copies of it,
Okay.
so I didn't have to worry about that.
So you had the interview and it started approximately what time?
Like 9:40.
9:40 and went to about when?
I think it was about an hour. So like 10:30, 10:40 or so.
They didn't offer you a job and said they may have something coming forward.
It seemed like promising, but then they said that they had one more person to interview on Tuesday or Wednesday of this coming week.
Mhm.
So, but they said that I would hear something from them regardless, like Tuesday or Thursday.
I want to jump back just a second. When you left the house,
Right.
what were you wearing?
When I left the house, I was just wearing, like my, like black pants,
Mhm.
and then just,
Jeans or just like workout pants kind of deal with?
no, just like workout pants.
Workout pants,
Yeah.
okay.
And then I just had a black shirt on, and then, was I wearing a jacket? And I think just like one of my sweaters or jackets or something.
And you changed where to go to the,
In the parking lot at the place.
I suppose, okay? You go to the interview, let's say you're there till maybe 11 o'clock,
Right.
approximately. Where'd you go from there?
From there, I pretty much just drove around. I was thinking of like passing by the house, but I inevitably decided against it. And then I thought that I had to do like a skills check off for the same exact thing. So then I had switched into just like scrubs.
Okay.
But then that didn't end up needing to be done today or on the same day.
Uh-huh.
And then I was pretty much just driving around. I ended up going to Waterford, or I had gone back to the Publix area at one point.
Mhm.
Because I wanted to see if I could get my phone service back.
Mhm.
But then I was told that I'm not like a registered user.
Did you go to a phone store somewhere?
Yeah,
Which one?
the Verizon.
Where's
The
that at?
Verizon, which is right there in the same place.
In the Publix Plaza.
Right, it's
Like
like,
down by Tractor Farm Supply? down
it's
there?
right next to the Zaxby's. It's where the family dentistry.
Oh, yeah, they built a new building up there, didn't
Right.
they? It's like a little strip, 4 or 5 store there.
Yeah,
Okay, no, exactly what you're talking about. Where you're turning to go to Corner Lakes Middle School.
right.
Okay.
So
You went there and talked to somebody?
yeah, I had tried to get my phone service back, and then
Guy or girl?
it was a guy.
What does it look like?
He was a young guy, like maybe in his early 20s. He had black hair. I think he had like a goatee.
Okay. What time was that approximately?
I think that was the first place that I went to when I came back. So if I got out of there around 11, maybe like 12 or 12:30 or something like that in the afternoon,
Mhm.
I think.
Okay. Couldn't get the phone because why?
Because I was told that I wasn't a registered user, because it was under my dad's name and everything. And then I was told I was.
So he goes to the Publix parking lot, gets the Wi-Fi, uses his dead brother's credit card to purchase $600 worth of tokens, talks to Sylvie, probably jerks off in the parking lot, goes to his job interview, goes to Panera Bread to have some frickin' pain chocolat, and then goes to, what was it, Verizon, to try and reconnect his phone, but he's no longer the account holder. That's his big day after the killings. What a busy boy.
Registered user, and then that basically they can't do anything unless he gives the sign off to me. Right.
The account holder has to approve of it.
Right.
Okay. Didn't work.
It didn't work. And
then you went where?
And then after
Norma, that detective is going to have to wear those special sunglasses that they give you when you work in. Where do they wear those? Like when you have to look at an eclipse, for example.
after that, I went back, and then I think I just sat in my car for a little while because I was just thinking, okay, well, how am I going to do this with everything that just happened? And from there, that's where I think I decided that I was going to maybe drive by the house.
Did you go right by?
I didn't drive by the house. I was starting to go there down that Fort Christmas road, and then I was just like, I'm not gonna do it, because as far as I know, it's like, Dad's probably at work. I don't know if Cody works again today, and just like with everything that had been
When
happening.
you drove down there,
Yeah.
see anything strange?
No,
Newsflash, guys. Cam girls, especially in Bulgaria, Romania, Serbia, all of those Balkan countries, Montenegro, the Croatia, the cam girls aren't like, well, many doing it for themselves. They're a team and they work for a pimp, sort of, like an online pimp. A lot of them against their will. So what should she feel guilty about? She's probably being exploited, by someone who's taking the money for her showing the goods to freaks like this.
I just seen like a couple.
No, I think there's a misconception where people think that a lot of these expose sexual content, girlfriend experience cam models are like raking it in themselves, getting paid for the nipple shots and all that, when it's not really the case a lot of the time, certainly in the Balkans.
Cars like pass by me, but
Cars.
like just standard, like just a little bit of traffic. But then apart from that, no, I mean nothing.
How close do you get to the house?
Like a couple miles.
Okay. You leave there and you go where?
And then after I choose not to do that, then I go back towards the Goldenrod Express Scripts area, because I thought that I had to do the skills checkoff thing. So then I'm going back that whole like Goldenrod-y area.
Right.
I think I missed my exit, and then I had to get off at.
You go 408 again?
Yeah.
Expressway?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going back and forth on the 408.
Right.
Okay.
And then I missed the Goldenrod exit, and then I don't even think to get off on Cimarron. So then I end up needing to go off on Crystal Lake Drive, and then I connect up with 50, and then I just go all the way back to the Goldenrod Road.
Right.
But then I stop off and I see if there was any email updates or anything like that, and then
check your email.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And then there was nothing. So then I was like, oh crap, it's not like today.
But you've got to pay for things. You've got some money.
Right.
In your account.
Right.
You got Cody's card, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's right, Matilda. So his defense is that Cody Cody met up with him. So his defense at the moment is Grant got kicked out of the house. His dad kicked him out of the house. Grant packed the car with all of his stuff and drove down the road 2 streets over or something. And Cody met up with him at the house. And he said, "Oh, brother Cody, I was talking to the woman again and Dad kicked me out." And Cody said, "I'll take care of it." And then went back to the house, killed his parents, wrote Grant a very kind of romantic love note, and then shot himself in the head. That's his defense so far, yeah.
Wait a second. Do you still have your dad's card?
Yes.
Okay, you still have that. Okay. Do you use any of them?
I had used Cody's card to pay for one of my bills that was outstanding. It was just one of those from that.
Yeah, my outstanding bill. Not a new bill. I didn't order new tokens. I had to find the Publix parking lot that night and use my brother's credit card to pay $600, which just happens to be the lowest increment number that you can purchase tokens in, is $600. The bill was for exactly the same amount. And I had to pay one of those backed up bills, Not new tokens, no, a backed up bill, previous bill.
That site, it was just like a bill that had backed
How much
up
was
from
that?
there. $5.99.99.
Okay.
Um,
Cody, you know you were doing that?
Yeah.
He said it's okay to do that?
He said to use this to like survive until.
Yeah, survive. Use this credit card to survive. You know, so the first thing you should take care of to survive is pay your outstanding balance to the cam girls site. Okay? Then food, then shelter, and then when you've got food and shelter, you better double check that there are no more outstanding bills to the cam girl site and survive.
Things can get figured out because he knows that I only have, a few $100s to my name.
When
He
did
told you that night that you
Right.
could use his card and pay off what needed to be paid off?
He said to use it for like necessity.
Did he give it to you?
Yes.
He gave it to you, so here, take this and just
Yeah.
do whatever. But that was normal for him, though. He was
because he had
for the most
always.
part, he was putting most of your bills
Right.
aside.
Right.
Okay.
So then after the realization that I didn't have to do any skills checkoff, then after that, then after that, that's where I go to Waterford. And then at Waterford,
You stop anywhere with him?
I go into Panera because I think that I'm going to get something to eat.
About what time?
This was like right before I went to the hotel, so it was like after that. Then after that, that's where I go to Waterford. And then at Waterford,
You stop anywhere with him?
I go into Panera because I think that I'm going to get something to eat.
About what time?
This was like right before I went to the hotel, so it was like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe.
Okay.
And then in there, I think about getting something to eat, but then I don't really want to use like the other cards to pay for something, and then I know that I only have a little bit, but then I'm gonna have to like sleep somewhere. And again, I'm trying to use like my money for that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So then I'm only in Panera for like 10 minutes
Jay
or something like that.
Chafee. Jay Chafee. Yeah, he messed up when he framed the scene. Because he put a holster on his dad, but he put the holster on, like, his dad was, I can't remember if it's right or left, but let's say his dad was right-handed. He put the holster backwards on his right side. So he would either have to draw left-handed, cross draw, or use his dominant hand, his gun hand, to pull the holster out back to front, to pull the gun out of the holster back to front, and then switch it round in his hand. And it was also like there was blood splatter beneath the holster on his jeans, but the holster was on real tight. And yeah, it was just like the worst. And none of the, usually even in the movies you see this, where it's like they shoot someone in the head and then they hold a gun in the dead guy's hand and make his hand pull the trigger so that there's gunshot residue on the hand. I mean, that's 101 murder framing, right? The forensics immediately did tests on all of the dead bodies and said no one fired a gun. No one fired a gun. It's science. It's proven. When you fire a gun, there's gunshot residue on the hand. So unless Cody shot his mother and father, and then washed their hands for them, maybe, and then shot himself in the head, and then after he shot himself in the head, he washed his own hands as well, completely of gunshot residue, which is like microscopic fibers, right? Or dust, whatever.
And then I end up leaving from there, and then that's where I go to the DoubleTree, and then that's where I checked in. And then I was at the DoubleTree all night.
Did you go anywhere? Leave?
I only came out of the DoubleTree to, I think, get like a water bottle out of my car and to get like, oh yeah, to get my like my razor out just in case I needed to shave or something like that.
In your room, what's in your room back at that DoubleTree?
At the DoubleTree, it's my leather, like just shoulder bag, and then it has my other small leather shoulder bag, I guess you could call it, but it's like a satchel.
Okay, what's in it? What's in this bag?
In the satchel, it's just got some batteries, some protein bars, just some like ration type food. And then in my big carry, it's got just like some clothes, standard clothes. It had my like all the electronic chargers and whatnot that I could get, just kind of like grabbing and putting in there. And then it has my Surface, my cell phone, and my iPad.
Yeah.
And then it's got like some like bills, like some previous bills.
Does your cell phone have a lock on it?
Yes.
What's the lock?
2112.
2112 for the lock on the cell phone. How about the iPad?
The iPad, I don't know. I never turned it on.
Oh, you've never even used it?
No. I've used it before, but I never turned it on since I got it back. Because my dad was like keeping all of that stuff like locked and put in somewhere.
Slept there last night? Talked to anybody?
I messaged the girl that I'd been talking to on Twitter. Yeah.
On Twitter, so you have to pay for it.
Right.
Did she respond back to you?
I think once, like 1 or 2 responses.
What's your Twitter address? I'm sorry, I'm not a Twitter person.
No, it's just Grant A. It's just what it is.
It's just Grant A.
With a space.
Grant space A.
I think if you type in Grant space A, it'll like pull up my picture.
Okay.
But it's like one of those Grant space A 8495000. Yeah, it's got like 9 numbers after.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not a Twitter person. I don't know.
Oh no.
I don't know that much about it. Sorry, when you get at our age, sometimes some of these things have passed you by. And
oh no, yeah, that's fine.
I appreciate you explaining to me.
So the Surface and iPad have no passwords?
The Surface, my computer has a password, but it's, again, the PIN is just 2112.
So just using a home address.
Yeah.
So easy to remember.
Yeah. Okay. And then, but with the iPad, I don't know if it has a password on it because I never turned that on again once I got it back.
Okay. So you stay there.
Right.
And wake up this morning.
Right.
Nobody else in the room.
Yeah, no. Who doesn't like Panera? They don't really have that in Europe. But, I like Panera. Got me some real good coffee. And a muffin that I gotta say was delicious. I think it was blueberry.
It's rented in your name.
Rented in my name.
Okay. You come out and do what? You come out of the room today, you go where? Where are you going?
I was going to go down because I had like one more bottle of water in my car, and I had just finished eating like just a little granola bar thing, so I was like, I'm just going to go down and get my bottle of water.
And you found what when you go outside?
All the police officers, brother, yeah.
Okay.
Real quick, do you know if there was a password on the iPad prior to your dad taking it?
Yeah, but it was just, they were always like 2112.
Okay,
was
so
whatever.
everything was the same.
Yeah.
Here, we got a better map, just to,
Okay.
and I can't see that.
Okay.
I'm blind.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a better map for you to implicate yourself now, but I can't see without my glasses. I'm blind. This is so casual. Now, where are you on this map?
We've marked off there just for ease, and it's not. There's your house.
Okay.
Here's the guy with the fence with the lights there.
Right.
And you went down Fort Christmas going into Orange County.
Right.
And I would suspect this is about somewhere around a mile, give or take, from your development
Do
entrance.
you remember a cross street or anything that it was near?
I don't know if it's on here.
Yeah, easy for us.
Because it would be a road that's like coming in this direction, where it's
A
like
side road or like somebody's private road?
no, it's like a side road. It's like a road that inevitably collects back up with 417, and it's like it's
450? I think what you're saying, that road, it should come back to 50, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's a split where it splits off, and if you go left, it'll wind up to 50.
It was before that. Yeah, it was before that split, where if you take that.
You know what I'm talking about.
But it was before that. It's where there's another road that's intersecting that has like a metal guardrail, like a long metal guardrail. And it's just like a little, I don't know, I can't really describe it. It's like
everybody in the chat talking about the Wendy, Charlie, weird. Didn't they have a sexual sort of, even if it's not the act, some kind of, connection in that area? Well, don't forget that Jeff Lacasse said about Brother Robert, good, honest Abe Robert, when he left the family, Jeff was like saying he wants nothing to do with being Robert, wants nothing to do with the family. Not that he was sent out, but that Robert, Jeff said, something happened in that family and Robert wants nothing to do with it, that sort of thing. So, people are saying in the chat that maybe Charlie molested Wendy. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe Robert knew about that. Maybe Donna knew about that. I've thought for a while that maybe Harvey had been molesting everybody. Because everyone's going on about Harvey being quiet and, kind of background Harvey. I think he might have the biggest skeletons in the biggest closet of all. I think he may have done some really serious stuff.
Like, it should be a road that...
And often the wives of those kind of individuals, they have to put on such a neurotic front, like Donna, that, just to accept the situation, that they often end up like complete fucking basket cases, just like Donna, right? What happened in that family? And there's definitely the whiff of something sexual, something incestual, sexual, Charlie's talking to his mother for 3 or 4 hours a day. I mean, what is that about? I haven't spoken to my mother for 3 or 4 hours this year. I don't think,
That's coming in from this direction. I just have no idea. I mean, unless it's like one of these that's just like right off the map or something like that.
Okay, here is, I think this goes back out, if I'm not mistaken, goes back out to where? Lake Pickett. Lake Pickett Road goes all the way from Percival. It comes out and crosses Trulia Road 419. It goes back through some new developments, winds its way around, and kind of looks like that. Does that look about right? Fort Christmas, before that road comes in, it's a good road.
Yeah.
There's a stop sign that way. So probably you think right around there before you get back into the actual proper area?
Yeah.
Could that have been it? Like right around
it
here?
Was close to
Was there a church right there? The Catholic Diocese of Orlando has got some property there?
No, I mean, all that I can remember is just like
because right
the
here,
fields and all that
because
stuff.
right here, I know it's kind of hard to see, is where you live at.
Right.
Is right, I think right there.
Yeah.
Sultan's right there.
So then, yeah.
That other road comes down, you say where the lights are down that way, and the only real road that comes down and goes back to the east will be that right there. So it's probably that.
Yeah, I did not know.
But it looks like a decent sized road. It wasn't just like a little driveway or somebody's private road.
And then it winds through.
So it'd be Lake Pickett. Highway, was it 420? 420. So somewhere in that intersection.
Somewhere, yeah.
And then when you left Cody, what did he say he was going to go do?
Cody said that he will take care of it.
Take care of what?
Just the situation that was at hand with whatever he had been updated with from my mom.
Did he tell you what he was updated?
He had told me the reason why, like, I'd been kicked out. But he really didn't give me that much dialogue, like, about that situation. You know, he was miffed a little bit because, you know, he had just gotten off work and now he has to go deal with this. And then after that,
Enormous
I mean, it was just.
Love that. Donna happened. I think that's another t-shirt, guys. Donna happened. I need a fucking whiteboard. Put all these great ideas on. Norma C, you get commission.
He gave me the debit card to say, you know, to use this in case of emergencies. And then, I mean, that was pretty much it, because I don't know if, like, he had already said that he was on his way home, or if there were expectations, like, for a time with him for making it home.
But what was your demeanor? Like, what did Cody see you as? Like, were you
like scared?
upset?
Yeah, like, I was scared because, I mean, like I said, it's the first time that I had been out of the house, you know.
So you were scared of what? Being on your own?
Right.
Or did your father say or do anything to scare you?
He had threatened me that if I stepped foot back on his property, not the house, but if I stepped foot back on his property, that he would kill me. And, like,
He said those specific words?
Yes.
Did you tell that to Cody? That your father told you that?
No, I didn't.
So you're afraid of him.
Oh, yeah.
You are actually afraid that he could kill you.
Yeah, and it's also because, like, in the past, like, 2 weeks before I got kicked out, my dad was going through, like, a lot of episodes where he was losing his temper a lot, yelling a lot, especially when me and Cody weren't at the house. And
Who was he yelling at?
my mom.
So was he being violent to your mom?
Yeah, like, I think
Physically or just emotionally?
both.
Put his hands on her.
He had bruised her left arm by grabbing it. And then apparently she had said that on one of the nights.
This was when Chad turned into a Type A Italian gorilla and grabbed his wife's arm and bruised her arm.
That they were in the kitchen together, and then he was, like, throwing food at her and then banged her head against the wall a couple times.
So, and I'm not let me speak bad of your dad, but he's kind of a violent guy.
Yeah, I mean.
You have a reason to be afraid of him.
And then the thing that I was getting to was that apparently my mom was so scared at one point, because it had been a while since he had been like this, that she had taken, like, a couple or a number of voice memos on her phone whenever he would, like, come in and then start, like, she knew that, you know, something, like, he was going to start to get upset. And that on multiple occasions, he had told her that basically if I fuck up, sorry for the language, but if I screw up, he's going to kill me, and then he's going to kill her.
He said those specific
Because
words.
he blames everything that happens negatively with me and with Jason, not with Cody, but with me and Jason on her, because we're her favorites.
So you have a reasonable belief in your mind that your dad could hurt you.
Yes.
He could hurt your mom.
Yes.
He could maybe hurt Jason.
Yes.
He's a violent guy. I'm sorry, I've been this a long time. He sounds like a violent guy.
Yeah.
Quick to lose his temper with him over minuscule stuff.
Minuscule stuff, yeah.
I get the point he's upset about the amount of money. I do get that.
The
Physically, he's abusive.
The detective is having a bit of fun there, isn't he? He's just like, I'm sorry, I've been doing this a long time, and this Type A Italian gorilla, he sounds like a violent guy. You're actually afraid that he could kill you. Kill your mom. Kill Jason. This guy's a loose cannon. Needs to be tied down. And Grant's all thinking like, wow, shit, is this working? They're believing me? The detective's like, yeah, sure, we're believing you. Really? Yeah, we are so believing you right now with this maniac Italian gorilla, Type A Italian gorilla, on the loose.
Yeah.
And it's kind of embarrassing as you're an adult male right now. He's been abusive of you for years, has he not?
Yeah. I mean, more mentally over the course.
But it has been to the point where you as a 29-year-old male, right, 29?
29.
That you're afraid that your father could kill you.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it's like, you know, at the house, I mean, I have like no access to anything. So I mean, it's literally just like me, and you know, so like
When
I
you
told
mean
you,
access to anything, you mean what?
like, you know, anything to defend myself. You know, like I
The guns in the
sold
house?
all my guns.
You told her. Does Cody have guns in the house?
He does, but they're like locked up somewhere.
Dad have guns in the house?
Again, yeah, but they're locked up somewhere.
And you don't have access to them?
I don't even have a house key. I don't have a house key. I don't have any keys to the doors inside the house. All I had was my car key. That's all that he gave me.
And that night when you argued with your father and you said he grabbed your shirt and pulled you off the couch, did he do anything else to you physically?
No, he didn't like pursue it anymore. He was just.
Did you tell Cody that he acted that
No.
way towards you?
No, I didn't.
Cody had no idea that there was a heated, physical, just the argument that you needed to get
Right.
out because you were talking to this girl.
Right.
We've come and talked to you.
Okay.
You rode up here voluntarily with us
Uh-oh.
to talk to us.
Okay.
Why do you think
We're just going to pause this, guys. We're going to be moving into the lounge section of the $1 million custom Italian marble studio in a moment for chapter 3. Another twist. No, this is Act 2, Scene 1. No, Act 2, Scene 2. Yeah. I think that's right. Maybe that's how I should start titling the videos, like plays, because all of these stories, they do play out like little plays, right? And this is definitely Act 2, Scene 2, or it might be Act 2, Scene 3. We need a theater person to come and contribute to our terminology chart. Just a second, guys. We are slowly moving the equipment into the lounge area of the studio, of the $1 million studio. By the way, guys, while we're waiting for this, subscribe to the channel. Remember to like, share, leave a comment. If you want to support the travel, if you want to support time travel in our channel, if you want to support the channel, you can do so on buymeacoffee.com. You know, we've got Matt Sherwood, who bought us 5 cups in one hit. We've got Super Chat, Super Stickers, Super Thanks. We've got memberships, Patreon. It's fantastic. There's just so many options for people to support the channel, the growth, the equipment, the service. It's wonderful. It really couldn't be better, guys. Tell a friend. Tell your priest. Tell your mother, your mom, your dad. Don't shoot them in the head. Tell them about True Crime Metrix. Tell your dog. Tell your dog to tell all dogs.
we're having this conversation?
Okay, 1 second. We're going to go back. You're here voluntarily, guys. All of you are here voluntarily, and there's a crowd tonight, guys. These comments, they keep me so busy. Is there not a way to make them go onto the screen? I have to click every single one. Man, I wish there were no comments. I wish there was no audience. The pressure is immense.
I honestly don't know, but.
You rode up here voluntarily.
You're here voluntarily, Grant.
We've come and talked to you. You rode up here voluntarily with us to talk to us. Why do you think we're having this conversation?
I honestly don't know, but I'm pretty freaked out at this point because, you know, it's, I mean, I know like how the situation was when I left.
I'd love it if the detective just, took that turn into, why do you think we're having this conversation? Then waited for Grant to say something, and then the detective just went straight back. So, when you were in Japan with Brother Cody and friend Jericho, did you eat any sushi? Did you go to the anime museum? Tell us about Japan, Grant. And the 7-Eleven logo, is it the same in Japan as it is in the US? Wow.
And, you know, I thought that it was weird to begin with that I hadn't gotten any communication whatsoever. I mean, like I had told you, my brother Cody, the last time when I was away from the house, that he was the one who outreached to me via email, because again, I didn't have my phone or anything like that. So, I mean, I thought that it was weird, but I had just been kind of putting it out of my mind, thinking, okay, you had to go to work or they're busy or something.
When you were in your room, the hotel room, hanging out, watching TV?
No, I didn't turn on the TV. I had on just like music in the background, just kind of helped me go to sleep.
Are you sure about that? Because the hotel, it's weird, and I didn't know this. I used to travel a lot for work. They can tell because of the TV every channel you've been on when the TV is turned off. Because I guess they have a problem. Yeah, I guess they have a problem with people stealing from that.
Oh wow.
So those things are well monitored, even though it looks like a cheap.
Yeah. I never even touched the TV remote. I didn't turn on that TV at all. I was just using my service to like watch YouTube initially, and then
You're using the service to check things.
Right.
So there'll be a history of everywhere you went on it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. As a child, we're told the truth always is the best thing to do. Correct.
Correct.
You agree with me?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I love that when this detective goes into the truth sphere. As a child, we're told that to tell the truth is the best thing ever. And you're like a child. You're like a giant baby that still, gets pushed around in a chair on wheels and fed with a spoon that looks like a choo-choo train.
accidents happen, and things in the heat of the moment, things happen that we wish hadn't happened. But I do it myself sometimes. My kids will make me so aggravated, I'll snap at them and then walk away and say, wow, I wish I would not have done that. That was not very adult of me to snap at my child for something. Yes, they're wrong, but I should be the adult and not snap at them.
Right.
Tell me what you think, because I can tell I've done this for a long, long time, and I read people, the way they act, and the way they talk to me, and the way they answer questions. There's something you want to tell us. I can see it in your eyes. I can see it in your...
Norma C says, VIP champagne room. You see, I could tell she was classy. Very classy.
Your body language and just the way you act. Now's the time. Now's the time. If there's something you want to get off your chest and give us an explanation of what's bothering you, now is the exact time to do it. And I'm giving that opportunity right now to tell me something you want to get off your chest. It's there. I can see it in your face. I can see it in your eyes.
That you stepped out about that night.
You're upset about it. You've been that since we've talked to you. I can see there's something been bothering you. Even though I don't know you from Adam's house, can't you see things in people that something really bothered this guy? It's not that, I spent a bunch of money I shouldn't have on this girl. So be it. You did. It's over with. Money can be made back. Something's bothering you.
I'm just worried about what is all transpiring from this.
I think at this point right now, to be honest with you, Grant, you know what it is. It's in your eyes. Your eyes is the view to your soul, and it's in your eyes. And it sounds stupid, and people don't believe it. Like I told you out there in the car, did I not tell you? You may not like what I say, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth every time, because I can walk in front of anybody in God and say, I don't care. I told him the truth.
And we usually know answers before we ask it.
Right.
I knew, me and Eva knew everything before we asked you the questions. Now's the time to come to Jesus, be honest, because you're holding something back. I can see it in your eyes. People don't believe that the police will help you, but we are actually here to help you with issues you may have. I think something happened, and you don't want to tell us, but right now is the time to get it off your chest. And I really wish you would, because it will make you feel better in the end.
I genuinely don't have anything else that I can say about the night or, the periods of time afterwards.
There's only one opportunity.
You see, I actually think that's quite a good line he just used. And he says it is his anchor under pressure. He says it multiple times throughout the rest of this video, right to the end. I genuinely don't have anything else I can really say. That, again, is like a Wendy Adelson answer to a question. It's not saying, I don't know, or even I don't remember. It's not saying, I have nothing to say. It's saying, I genuinely don't have anything I can say. Really.
To make that good impression. And if we've done something we shouldn't have done, you fess
No,
up and
you
get caught your hand in the cookie jar.
don't need to worry about Grant Amato making a good impression. He's an anesthesiologist, baby. He's had a job interview today. He's going back in his full nursing scrubs. He's probably got a little monogram, GA, on the breast pocket where he keeps his hospital-issued rollerballs. I never want to use the word Grant Amato and balls in the same sentence ever again. Oh, God. What a place that must be, huh?
You do it. Now,
Was there anything else that happened at the house that you didn't tell us, that you've left out, but we haven't asked you, that would be of importance? Or during the time that you drove around for those few hours, did you ever really go back to the house that you haven't told us about?
something that happened that caused you to defend yourself.
No, because again, it's like I didn't have any means to defend myself. I mean, I didn't.
Well, we know from talking to that there's weapons in the house.
Right.
We know that to be a fact. Something happened that caused you to defend yourself. Whether you had anything or not, you found something to defend yourself with. I can't tell you everything. I'm not going to tell you everything. But something happened, whether your dad blew up on you, threatened you, physically harmed you, or hurt you. Something happened that caused an altercation.
And I didn't do anything at the house besides get my stuff together and take it out to my car. And that's, I didn't, besides that one thing that I told you guys where I was going down the road to come back maybe, besides that, I didn't.
And you saw nothing that was out of the ordinary?
No.
In the Fort Christmas area or 419 area?
No,
Did you even get up to the Lake Mills Fort Christmas area where that guy's blinking lights are?
No. When I came back, I didn't come up to there.
There is, and you're better electronics than I am. I'm gonna go ahead and admit that. There's a digital footprint, and there's ways to see things that we know that don't make sense. Even though your phone may not have service, there's still issues with the phone.
Right.
And it was on you the entire time?
Yes.
When you left the house
Yes.
until you were in touch with law enforcement?
I can track places you've been, and I know where you have been, and I know what time you've been there. And everything you're telling me isn't just copacetic and doesn't add up. Because there's what I think, what you think, what she thinks, and then there's things that are hard facts that you can't manipulate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
He just
I
said,
think something happened at the house based on my knowledge right now, and you're afraid to say it. You're afraid to come back and say that I was a victim, I was hurt, I had something that happened there that I don't want you to tell because it's something maybe embarrassing or not good. But I know a lot more than I can let on right now, and things you're not telling me. I can't help you if you won't let me help you.
So where's the missing piece? What have we missed here?
I mean, when I had come back that other time, I crossed in front of the dude's fence, the red blinking lights ones.
What time was that?
I can't remember.
That was Friday during the day when you said you were going to come back.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. But it was after you did your interview.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you did that, you would have seen something, and there would be something out of the ordinary that you would have seen. If you passed that, you passed something out of the ordinary. What was it?
I saw like a news van, and then I don't think they're.
I saw a news van outside my house on my driveway, but I thought, that could be anything. maybe my dad was doing an interview for my missing person report. He changed back from a type A Italian gorilla into a caring father and wanted to tell the news media, he was like, if anyone has them and they're not safe, I just want them to be safe. Chris Watts.
There might have been like a cop car. There was like traffic being.
Human nature. Human nature. What do people do when I go back to my old neighborhoods? And I've lived a couple places in Central Florida in the 23 years I've been here. I see something major going on. I get on my phone or I get on my computer. So I look. I wonder what's happened by my neighborhood, and look.
Did that even spark your attention?
There's a digital footprint of where I went on my phone. This right here phone, they can tell me I looked at these maps on my phone because it's on there.
Right.
The memory's there. You can't delete it. You can't. You came back to the neighborhood. You saw some things that are really out of the ordinary.
Right.
And I don't believe for a second that you thought that I'm not going to look. What's going on? What happened to my neighborhood?
I mean, I didn't search it up on anything on any of the devices that I have.
Did you search it somewhere else?
At
remember, like I said, I know things that you don't know, and honesty will get you all the things I could do for you. Be honest, I can't deal with someone who lies to me,
right.
But I'll deal with someone and help them till the end, no matter what. Believe it or not, that's just me, and she'll tell you. It's what it is.
Yeah, she'll tell you that I'll help you to the end. I'll help you to the death chamber, where you will be injected with 3 different syringes, one to put you to sleep, one to relax and slow your heart rate, and one to stop your heart. I'll help you right on to the gurney, and I'll watch you through the observation room window. Honesty. Honesty will get you all of the things I can do for you. I'd want to know more about what that meant if it were me. I'd be like, so what are the things you can do for me? Because if putting cuffs on me and sending me to trial to get the death penalty is one of them and high on your list, I'll pass.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say if I can do something that can help you, I'm going to help you, because every one of us make mistakes and do things we shouldn't have done in the heat of the moment to protect ourselves or to protect somebody else. It happens. I know you've searched for something. I know something. I can't tell you exactly, but you said won't you tell me? And I'll tell you if you're being to me. What'd you search?
On when I had gone to the Panera, I searched for like top stories, Oviedo or Chuliota or something like that.
And found what?
And then I saw that there was, it was like just the initial like it had like a video, but I didn't listen to the video, but it had just an initial thing of that there was shootings in Salton Circle, but it didn't say like the address or who's involved. It was just like this is the preliminary.
Was that on one of the news stations? What was the site you searched?
I honestly can't remember. I think it was one of the Weshes, but.
And you saw the story, because we've seen the same stories. You've seen the story, because there's a thing that will tell me how long of the time you spent on that.
Right.
You saw what happened.
Yeah, I was on there for like 20 seconds.
Well, what was your thoughts when you reviewed this story?
I was freaking out, and I was just like blank. I didn't know what to do.
Now's the time. Now is the time.
So what do you think
To be
happened?
honest.
I think that there was something that obviously happened at the house.
Did you see that? Did I just pick up on that? This male detective, Detective Danny, was just about to go into another one of his really crazy, meaningless honesty fiestas, and the female detective shut him down and brought it back, took the lead. Let's see that again. What was Detective Danny going to say?
Now is the time.
So what do you think
To be
happened
honest. Now's the
And then
when you reviewed this story?
I was freaking out, and I was just like blank. I didn't know what to do.
Now's the time. Now is the time.
Look,
So what-
he's leaning in. He's just about, now's the time. Now is the time to put and then the female detective's like, so what did you read of the story?
What do you think
To be
happened?
honest.
I think that there was something that obviously happened at the house.
Tell me what happened.
I don't know what happened.
I know better. Listen to me. I know better. I can help you, Grant, with honesty. I can help you with honesty.
We think something else happened before you left the home that you're either afraid of or embarrassed to talk about. But we need to know exactly what happened, because like Danny said, we can place you there at certain times. And so we need to know what happened before you left that house, because you didn't leave with everything being okay.
I honestly, I don't have anything else that I can really say. I mean, I don't know.
Do you even know why law enforcement got involved? Like what brought us to that home?
No,
You just said it. You know something bad happened there. Out of your voice, not mine. I have not told you anything what's happened there. Something bad happened. You're here with us for a couple hours. You admit that you looked at a site and seen something bad happen, because the video is not of just a general area. It's of a specific location, correct?
yeah, I saw like a driveway or something.
Whose driveway did you say?
I don't know. I saw like there was like a gate. There was a gate, and then I saw like that there was like two cars, but then I didn't see anything past that.
Okay.
Well, is that driveway and gate your home?
I honestly did not fixate on it for like a long period of time. I saw like the one with an actual like gate.
You've been here with us. You think something bad has happened at your house. And to date, so long, you haven't even asked us about anybody.
Well, that's because for the last time that I was arrested, I mean, like nobody would tell me anything.
Once you start telling me something that's truthful that I know, then we're going to have a conversation of exactly what happened.
I mean, you're a smart guy. You know something's happened at your home. You have law enforcement here. You haven't heard or gotten any
Well,
emails
I
from your
mean,
family.
I'm just scared as to what the answer is.
Well, you need to help yourself by filling in the blanks of what happened that night so we can give you the answer. Did anything more happen with you and your father besides him grabbing you up from the couch and yelling at you and kicking you out? Anything at all? Did he harm you, hit you,
No.
draw any weapons on you?
No, he didn't do anything like that. I mean, he was just yelling.
This is the time to come to Jesus, to be honest, because you know more. I'm looking in your eyes tell me exactly that you are hurting inside. I get it, brother, I get it, you're hurting.
And this is the
You're
only
scared.
time we can help you.
Because once we get to a certain point, there's nothing I can do. It's in the hands of who has it. Nothing I can do. Honesty is always the best policy. You get caught stealing a car, you admit to it, I get it. How can I get help? What can be done to help me? And let me tell you the rest of my story. You're
And
holding
if
back.
something happened that you were defending yourself, then we need to know that. If you
Okay,
were
guys.
protecting yourself because you were in fear, then that
I
makes sense.
think
But we need to know exactly what happened for you to protect yourself.
You can't minimize this.
you can't minimize this. You can't minimize your head. You can't minimize the murder. You can't minimize your sentence. You know. And you might get out of here. It's so funny when they let him go. Because they say, listen, we're going to need to take your clothes as evidence, but don't worry, we're going to bring you something to put on. And they bring him like the basketball clothes for an 8-year-old. I mean, not even a real team, just like, I don't know, just some generic basketball clothes that are really small, and it makes Grant look even more of a baby than he already does. And yeah, it's hilarious. But the pressure's building, guys, and I think we're going to leave it on a little cliffhanger tonight, you know? Come back bright and early tomorrow. Well, at almost midnight for me. That's why we have so many fuck-ups at the moment, guys, with the no audio. You're not sharing your tab. You're watching the video, but no one can see. And then my phone ran out of battery, and just crazy, just crazy. But if any of you knew what we actually get up to in our daily lives in Portugal, you would understand that it's not easy sometimes. Oh, yeah. I'm amazed we've come this far. So, everybody, like, share, leave a comment, tell your dog to tell all dogs. Tell a friend, tell someone on Reddit. True Crime Metrix is here to stay. Expand the community. Anyone wants to join us on Discord? A few more people have come in, so hopefully someone will know how to use this software. Excellent. Okay, we will have a quick look through the comments. Where are all the comments? Oh, another message from Discord. From Anna in SJ, South Carolina. Hi, Anna, on Discord. Looking good. Wow, that's a lot of comments to get through. Huge amount of comments, guys. Is there a comment count on StreamYard? That would be interesting. It's got to be almost 1,000 comments tonight. So, Alice says, thanks for the stream. Good evening. Norma C says they should have brought him back in white stripes. Yeah, while playing the White Stripes song. Which one would they play? I don't know. Wow, that's so early in Texas. But Texas must be in like 3 different time zones, huh? Mountain time, Midwest time, Central time, So Norma C must be in Houston or Dallas, not Austin, not Midland, not San Antonio. Yeah, am I yawning? I'm sorry, Norma. Oh, your family is from Spain? Well, Spain's right next door. We should all have paella in celebration. Matt Taomina loves this line about, I will not be a purple monkey in a top hat with a basket of eggs, sir. I'm not going to be a piece of broken glass, sir. He loves this. And it is good, isn't it? If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, Matt Taoma, you should all go and watch which one was it, Matt? The Andrew Smith trial testimony our video on the Andrew Smith trial testimony in the Chandler Halderson case. There's this great line he says. I mean, he has so many great lines. It's difficult to pick a top one for the top spot, but it would certainly be up for consideration that it should be, I'm not going to be a piece of broken glass, sir. Or are we saying it wrong? Maybe it's, I'm not going to be a broken piece of glass, sir. Is that different? Did I just say the same thing? Man, I'm tired. You can't minimize your head, yeah. I love how Neverly Darling is taking it upon herself to be a sort of host, thanking people that are mere participants. Go for it, Neverly. You can do my job all day long. Nighty night, Norma. So glad you came. Yeah, I do need help with the comments. It's a lot of work. And I like putting them on the screen because, then people who watch the video later when it's not live, it makes it look really busy. There's just so many comments. I just wish StreamYard had a way to automate putting them on screen so I don't have to go through and click, because it's really distracting. I love reading them, but there's just so many to get through. It's a challenge sometimes, but a good one that we wouldn't change for the world. That's frankly none of your business, S. Bell. That guy was amazing. I mean, I really don't know if he was just like a simpleton or some kind of Renaissance genius. It's like he brought it all back for us. Maybe it was that time he spent being stationed in Germany. Maybe it was when he crashed the Hummer on the whatever it was and smashed his head into the wall of the armored car. Something clicked for him that day. Yeah, have at it, Neverly. Cinderella, this case, what, the Grant Amato case? So, just to tell Cinderella, who needs to catch up, Grant Amato was alone. Well, not really alone. He was living at home and he had shitloads of support. But he's a weird looking, creepy freak, and I guess just didn't have much luck with women, you know? And he got into this like online cam girl thing where they give you a sort of girlfriend experience. They send you sexy pictures, they make you feel like you matter, and all you have to do is steal $200,000 from your mom and dad and send it to her. So that's what he did. And it made him feel great for about 4 months. And and yeah, he spent all the parents' money, their retirement, so they couldn't retire to this planned retirement. They had built a house in Tennessee, and they were just going to go up there and live out the rest of their days with a bit of cash. And Grant stole it all from them and sent it to some online stripper so that she would send him, you know, sexy pics, basically, and videos of her doing stuff, and $200,000. So when the family found out, they put Grant in this sexual online addiction rehabilitation live-in center, and Grant didn't like that, so he came back to the home and started talking with the girl again, and the dad freaked out because he was really pissed off, and then they went to Alantasia. Alantasia? Did I just say Alantasia? That is how tired. I think I'm dreaming already, guys. Anyway. Yeah, we'll pick it up tomorrow, guys, for Act 2, Scene 2 in the Grant Amato interrogation. How much more have we got to get through? Well, we're more than halfway. We're doing good progress. So we'll be probably finishing this on Thursday. Well, we'll come back on Wednesday, and we'll probably finish this up on Thursday. Okay? Well, a very good night to you all. Thank you so much for coming, and those of you who made some contributions to the cause, to the production values, that is so nice and sweet of you, and we appreciate it. Okay, guys. Closing it down.